I gotta time that better. I gotta time that song. I gotta time the music better. I gotta do a better job. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday. Very excited about it being Friday. It's also the end of another year. How every single year, it never fails. Every single year, I say the same thing every single time. And I say, how on earth did this happen? And then in February, I'll be like, oh my gosh, it's already February. And then in May, I'll be like, how is it almost summer? I'm just one of those people where I think I just don't, I always want time to kind of stand still because I always feel like there's more I want to do or more I wanted to do or whatever. But anyway, here we are at the close of 2023, looking ahead to 2024, which is, of course, what today's show is going to be about. We are going to be talking about how you can do more in 2024. And I really just kind of liked the way that like rhymed a little bit together. So that's what I put in the thumbnail. Hopefully you guys liked it. But anyway, here's what I want to know. I want to know in the comments right now, put in the comments right now, thinking about 2023, what are some things or a thing that you are just super proud of from last year, right? So we already had a couple people that commented on this, which is fantastic. You know, I was in the chat right before we went live today. And so I kind of told y'all, I gave some of you that were here hanging out and waiting that's what I would be talking about. So Creator Classroom says, I'm proud that I learned how to prioritize in 2023. That is so awesome. So prioritization is huge. I mean, it really is, whether it be, as she said, prioritizing her health, like she says today, she took an unexpected day off. Well, good for you, sister. Good for you. So sometimes you just got to do that. But prioritization, that's a big one. That's juicy. That's juicy because if you don't have your priorities set, you could just be kind of, floundering or on a vicious cycle. But this one's awesome. Gideon XL says, I'm proud I finally hit 500 subscribers. That's awesome. He said, except somebody unsubscribed. Hey, guess what? We celebrate unsubscribes around here too. And you want to know why we celebrate unsubscribes? Because think of it as fine tuning, right? It's fine tuning. You have all these people that you can hang out with and talk to and take care of. But if you're not a good fit for them, you don't want them stuck in your audience or dissatisfied, right? Because you're just not a good fit. It's not a criticism, and it certainly doesn't mean that you're not doing a great job. It just simply means that person's not a good fit for you. So we celebrate the unsubscribes too, because we're fine tuning. So like I said, put in the comments right now. I want to know what you're proud of in 2023, because I do want to celebrate with you. I want to shout you out for sure. And today we're going to be talking about looking ahead to 2024. What are some tips that I want to share with you? I'm going to share with you a few tips. Really, this show is going to be a little bit of an encouragement show, motivation, inspiration, really just trying to put some thoughts in your head and get you kind of like leveling up a little bit in 2023 and 2024. That's what this is going to be about. So do more in 2024. Got to pull out the snap, right? So, all right. So here I'm going to scroll on down, get caught up a little bit on some of these comments because y'all are coming in hot and heavy today. It's Friday. I absolutely just love it. So love seeing all the people here hanging out with us today. So let's see. Okay, so tell us about that. Says, I'm so proud of the people I have supporting my live stream journey. I love that. That's fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. So let's see. Durkham Skyrider says, I'm happy about my consistency. I haven't given up yet. LOL. That's fantastic. Consistency is huge. So consistency, even though, so I actually, when I've talked to so many people in my past, when I coach people, and they'll say, I'm doing it every week, or I'm doing all this stuff. And they feel like they almost feel stifled or frustrated, like that they're not getting these massive results. But I will tell you, the consistency does pay off. It absolutely pays off. And this is a journey. I love, love, love that somebody, it was Tell Us About That said, live stream journey. This is absolutely a journey. So we're on a journey together, and that's what we're doing. So, okay. Marianne says, I went live 68 times in 2023. Wow. That is fantastic. I love it. Love it. Love it. Let me give you a little, I can't play that one. I can't, dang it. I gotta get more fun sounds that are copyright free, all that stuff, so that I can, have a little fun. But the one I just about played is actually an Epidemic Sound audio clip, and I might get in trouble for that one, meaning the stream might get shut down. We don't want to shut this down because we haven't even gotten started. So, okay. Let's see here. Overspending on equipment. Are you proud of that, Bob? Is that what you're proud of? That's funny. Overspend. Hey, we've all done it. Maybe some of us, maybe. Okay. So Tarot Girl Live says, I am proud of always learning. I love that one as well. That's fantastic. I was just having this conversation, actually with my significant other. We were talking about, like content. We were talking about social media, and I was just saying to him, I was like, I feel like this year I've sort of like switch things up. I used to kind of get stuck, social media, blah, 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 like scrolling the Facebooks and the Instagrams and whatever. And I've really actually shifted my focus more towards truly, like if I'm just like bored, I will literally go to YouTube and I will try to find something that I want to learn about. Or I actually signed up for Masterclass. Have you guys seen that Masterclass thing? I mean, the ads sucked me in, and I will tell you, I completely subscribed to Masterclass because of the Martha Stewart one. I really did. I love Martha Stewart. But anyway, so Masterclass is another cool thing. I added it to kind of my stack, if you will. And it's like I can just go in there really quick and I can watch a video. And I'm kind of trying to gear my boredom time towards learning time, right? And so that's why I love podcasts and all those things. So I absolutely think learning is a fantastic thing that you should definitely be proud of, Tara Go. I love that. Okay, let's see. If you're just joining us, again, would love to know what you're proud of for 2023. And we are going to jump in to talk about 2024, doing more in 2024. But first, I want to give a few more shout outs here. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go. So with Joanne Banco says, I stayed consistent with great guests all year and slow but organic growth. Listen, organic growth is some of the best growth you can get because it's the most authentic, enriched growth, meaning people who are organically finding you and subscribing to you, they are like the diehard followers, right? They're not following you because of an ad. They're not following, they are truly like organic, although it feels slow. It's kind of like cooking a prime rib roast, whatever. A prime rib. You can't throw that on the grill and flash cook it like you would, flash cook a filet that you're going to want it to be medium rare and charred on the outside, literally 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes aside. Okay. No, prime rib is like hours of slow roasting if you want to do it right. You might char it a little bit, but then it's slow roasted. And that's what makes it the juicy goodness, right? Okay. It's been a while since I've done an off-the-cuff analogy, but I needed to do that. So there's today's off-the-cuff analogy. We're talking about steaks. We're talking about organic growth and steaks. So that's what we're doing today. Okay. All right. So Creative Lady said, I monetized a second channel. What? That's awesome. That is fantastic. I love that. I love that. All right. Mutts Nuts Crazy World. I am proud of reaching 1,300 subscribers and that yesterday day was the anniversary of my channel. I made my channel on 12/28/2015. Can't believe I've been doing YouTube for 7 years. That is awesome. I absolutely love that. I love that one as well. Okay, let's see. DizPod says, starting my podcast journey, finished season 1 with our highest viewed episode, on to season 2. Oh, I love that. I love that, Lawrence. That's fantastic. Let's see. Alex says, we grew a nonprofit YouTube channel from nothing to 1,000 subscribers. There is something about that 1K mark. I will tell you, when you hit that 1K mark, it feels so like substantial. And I will also tell you, there's just something about the YouTube world. When you hit the 1K mark, it's like things start happening. People start taking you more seriously. And what I mean by taking you more seriously is collaborations. If you reach out to people and you want to have them on your channel or whatever, they go to your channel. And when they see that 1K and above, there's just a little bit of a weird legitimacy to it. So I really do think that 100,000 subscribers is an absolutely fantastic, huge milestone. I love the 10 subscriber. I love the 50 subscriber, 100 subscriber, 500, and then 1,000. That's like those are the orders of which I kind of like to look at the kind of, stuff. Because 10 subscribers may not sound like a lot, but you know what? When you're just getting started, 10 subscribers is a pretty big deal. It really is a big deal. And then when you get to 50, it's like, holy cow, could you feed 50 people in your kitchen? I mean, I have a pretty big kitchen and I don't think I could fit 50 people in my kitchen. That's 50 people that are hanging out with you, right? And we all know everybody just wants to hang out in the kitchen. I mean, that's just where everybody hangs out. And then you get to 100 people. Well, that's like a small auditorium. And then you get to 500. That's like a big stage. That's a big stage in a big place, like with the big 3 screens behind you where you're like looking at the fancy monitors where you got a clicker in your hand and you're clicking your keynote presentation. And then 1,000, well, those are just ginormous keynotes right there. So that's the way I always like to kind of look at it. And when you hit that 1K mark, there's just something really, really amazing that kind of happens there. So it just does. Okay, going on a little tangent there. I got to keep going, and we're going to jump into today's content, I promise. Okay, so I want to check in. Let's see. Ooh, I feel like I jumped down in the comments. My goodness. Okay. I'm gonna shout a couple more out. I'm gonna try to find a couple more really fast, and then I definitely want to. Oh, went live 300 times. Mission Fit. Woo! That's a lot. 300 live streams is so fascinating to me. I love that. That's almost every single day. That's a lot. That's a big feat right there. So, okay, let's see. Okay, love this. AP and New Principles Academy says the growth of the channel. I'm now at 19,000 subscribers, looking forward to 20K. That is massive. That is such a big deal. That is fantastic. Congrats to you, my friend. Super excited that is where you are. That's really, really, really excited. Okay, let's see real quick. John says, I'm happy my show, The Basement Show with Mr. Nass, has jumped up from 257 to 547 followers here on Facebook. That's a lot. That's absolutely fantastic. How are you on YouTube as well? That's my question. That'd be a question for you. Okay, let's see. I'm going to grab one more fast as I can. Let's see. Okay, real quick though. Victor has a random suggestion for us. OBS to Instagram would be amazing. Victor, technically you could actually do this. You could use OBS, turn on your virtual camera, open up StreamYard, put that in your webcam is the OBS virtual camera. It's actually what I'm doing today. And then you can stream to Instagram now from StreamYard. So you can 100% do everything you're talking about in that short little comment right there. So, okay, let me find one more and then we're going to jump into today's awesome, fun stuff. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to find one more quick. Here we go. All right, Bez. What's up, Bez? Haven't seen you for a while. Okay, proud of my Make-A-Wish 2020, proud of my Make-A-Wish 22-mile Trailblaze Challenge in support of the critically ill kids of Georgia. Walked a portion of the Bartram Trail of the Appalachian Trail. I think is what you mean when you say AT, I'm guessing, right? That's fantastic, Bez. Fantastic. Congrats to you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. we are going to jump into today's content. Now, before I get started, I want to show off something really fun that I kind of made. Joanne sent me a random folder of files, and this was in it. And I was like, how have you been keeping this from me for so long? But welcome to the StreamYard channel. I am your host, Melanie Diane Howe, and I just wanted to show off that fun little transition. Now, I did use OBS to do that, so I cheated a little bit. But anyway, so if you're new to the show, my name is Melanie Diane Howe. I am a live streaming mentor here, and I am a content creator on the StreamYard channel. I absolutely love StreamYard, have for years. And so I get to come on here and help y'all up your game when it comes to marketing yourselves with your live streaming, but also just marketing in general. We do talk about other things on this particular show outside of just live streaming and gear. But if you do have questions for me, you can put them in the comments with a Q in front of your question. I'm going to hang out with it. We're going to hang out here today for about an hour, and I'm going to go through some tips and some inspirational kind of motivation for 2024. And I would love to hear from you in the comments about how you can help each other, right? I want you all to help each other as well. So we're definitely going to be having some fun with this. Okay, here we go. Let's go for it today. So I'm going to be sharing with you some stuff to. Okay, cool. Victor, sorry. I love it when they don't realize they can do something. I'm like, you can actually do that right now. You could actually leave the stream, don't till we're done, and go do exactly what you just wanted to do. So anyway, okay, here we go. We're going to jump in. I've got some tips for y'all today. Would love to hear your thoughts on them, but we are definitely talking about 2024, moving forward into 2024 at this point. We just kind of did some celebrations. If I didn't get to shout you out, I apologize, but you're in the comments, and I'm proud of you for all the things that you did, and I'll try to go back and check all those out for sure. All right, so tip number one when it comes to what I want you to focus in on 2024. Now, here's the thing. Some of these tips, some of you are already doing these things, I am sure. And if you are already doing some of these things, I would love to hear your comments on how it's been helpful for you or how it's been beneficial for you, right? But I know that a lot of you are in different places of your journey. So that's one of the things that is so fun about this community and the people who come here and hang out with us live is that some of you have never even gone live before, and you're aspiring to go live, or you're aspiring to create content. Some of you have been doing it for a while, and then some of you, 19,000 subscribers, 100,000 some subscribers, like some of you have been doing this for a long time. And so we've got new people and we've got seasoned veterans. Here's what's kind of crazy that this is one of the things that is so fascinating to me about this world of online digital content is just because someone has 100,000 subscribers doesn't actually mean that they're using all of the strategies. So even if you have 100,000 subscribers and you're watching the show, there might be something I share with you today that you aren't doing or have never done. So again, I think that what's so cool about all this is that everybody gets through their journey. We talked earlier that it's a journey, right? Everyone goes through this journey in a different way. There's so many suggestions out there for you. There's so many tips about the best ways to do stuff or how to grow the fastest or, whatever it is. You can do it your way. And I always tell people that. I always encourage people, listen to the feedback, listen to the tips, listen to the advice of the people who know what they're doing and have been doing this for a while. But always know, like, not every tip or every strategy is going to fit you. Now, keep in mind, I did not say not every strategy you're going to be comfortable with. Many strategies you're going to be uncomfortable with. That's part of this, is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you are going to have to stretch yourself. You have to do things that maybe aren't easy, or you have to learn new skills. So keep in mind, when I say it may not be a good fit for you, that don't get that confused with it's uncomfortable, right? What I mean is there are certain things that they just aren't you. You're not wired that way. So you're not going to be able to show up as your best self with that particular strategy or method, right? So get that little thing off and we're done, and we're going to just rock and roll here. So, all right, first thing I want to talk about. This one is interesting because I think that it's probably one of the, if you're especially on YouTube and you are trying to grow on YouTube, but this is starting to apply to other platforms as well, such as Instagram, especially, and others. So, but that is to use what I call the trifecta approach. Now, the trifecta means you're going to create 3 kinds of videos. I want you to create short form videos. So this would be YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Stories, Instagram Stories, right? So these little short form kind of micro content, TikToks, whatever you want to call them, right? But I also want you to create live streams, and I want you to also create pre-recorded videos. So let me break this down really quick, why all three of these are important. In fact, I don't remember if it was on the StreamYard channel, but Nick Nimmin just went through this exact same thing. It was either on this channel when he was streaming a couple weeks ago, or it was on his own channel. And I don't remember, but he was talking about this, and I was like, it's so true. And so many people miss it and miss this mark. And so what it is this: the short stuff, the short form, like YouTube shorts, right? Or the reels that you see. That's a lot of times how people are going to discover you. That's a lot of organic reach. And what organic reach means is just people are out there and they're all of a sudden, now they just saw a video from you because the algorithms think that the viewer is interested in this because of other stuff they've watched. And so let's say, so I'll give you a great example for myself. I love golf, okay? I love golf and I love to play golf. And recently I started watching I don't even know how it happened, but recently I started kind of watching some female golf videos on Instagram, right? I just started to just discover these, right? And there's actually this one girl, and she's local, which is so cool. She's literally from Indianapolis, so Indiana. So she literally lives like 45 minutes from me. And her name's Kaylin Henderson. Her Instagram handle is Chendo, and so is her YouTube. But anyway, I started watching these videos and I just absolutely fell in love with her personality. I loved her content. I was like, ooh, that's a great tip. I love it. I'm learning tips from her. And I started watching a lot of her stuff. And all of a sudden, now every time I open up Instagram, it's like other suggested short form content that's golf related content. And same thing on YouTube. So I open up my YouTube, and it used to always be gear and video and streaming. It is all over the place now. It is like grilling videos. It is like, golf videos, gear videos, motivational stuff. It is a hodgepodge, right? Which is fantastic. But my point is this: if you create content like that short form content, it's going to give you more exposure. Now, keep in mind, someone isn't necessarily going to get a whole bunch of information from you with that short form content, but it's a sample, it's a little teaser. And they're gonna be like, who is this person? And then they're gonna go into your channel. And in that channel, there needs to be, I should have done this in a different order. How are they gonna decide whether or not your channel is one they should subscribe to, right? Now, this is, I would say, equally important on Instagram and other platforms, but it's especially important on YouTube. Okay. I think people are more likely to subscribe to you quickly because of some of your Instagram reels and never even really want to go to the deep content. But when it comes to YouTube, I think people are like, what else does this person talk about? And they're going to want to watch or see some of these pre-recorded videos, right? So these are instead of, this little 60-second clip about a golf tip, we'll just stick with the same example. It might be a 9-minute video of you like playing a few holes on a golf course. And it's like, oh, you're taking them along and helping them see how you approach not just one stroke like you did in your short form video, but actually the entire par 5 hole. And then the next par 4 and whatever, or how you're like, okay, I'm all bogeys. How do I get a birdie so I can make it up? Like, just again, that 8-minute video is more of like a little bit more of a consumption. It's a deeper dive, and that's different than a short form. So the short form is a great way to get organic reach. And then these pre-recorded videos is what is like the meat of them learning from you and be like, oh, that's so awesome. I loved that. The live streams, the reason why all three are important is because live streams are for your community. It's the relationship building. All of you that know me and technically we don't know each other, but it feels like it, doesn't it? I feel like I know you guys. I feel like I know lots of you. So again, this is because of the live videos, right? Now, some of you maybe have seen some of the pre-recorded videos that I also create on StreamYard's channel as well. But the reason why you feel a connection to me, or like me, or like the Creator Classroom made a comment about Mel's Kitchen, it's because I literally am wanting to have more fun in my content. And so I actually bought some new wireless mics so that I could actually take my live stream over to my kitchen and maybe make a cocktail while I'm going live and whatever. So anyway, but that's all because of live streams I did on my other channel. And so anyway, the reason you feel like you might know me or have that connection to me is not because of some pre-recorded video I did about 5 tips to make great webinars. It's because of these conversations we're having, because I can read your comments in the moment. I can ask you to clarify your comment. I can answer your question. You can get to know my personality because it's unedited. It's raw and it's real. And so the reason why all 3 of these are important is because the short form is going to get you more organic reach, hopefully bring more people into your world. The pre-recorded videos are also, by the way, going to give you organic reach, because if you're answering a specific question and it's a really good video, then people are going to show you that YouTube is going to show people that video. It's going to show up and it's going to be like, here's you're asked the question. Here's this video that tells you how to do it. So those also are going to give you, organic reach, but the shorts are really where the organic reach is right now. And so anyway, think of the shorts as a sampling. You're bringing more people into your world. But if you don't have pre-recorded content or any other content, do they have a reason to subscribe? Do they have a reason to subscribe? And the way you keep your subscribers loyal and deep and enriched, and when you want to sell something like a coaching program or a product or whatever it is you do, the live streams are what build the true trust, the relationships. And people don't buy or take action unless they trust you. So again, the trifecta, all of these things together is like the perfect little marketing strategy from a video standpoint. So I want to make sure if you're just doing live streams, or if you're just doing pre-records, or you're super hyper focused on shorts and reels and whatever, I want you to add the other elements and do the full trifecta approach. So 2024, I want you to be using the trifecta, all 3 types of these kinds of content for sure. Now, quick little tip for you. If you do a live stream, you can absolutely go into StreamYard's video editor, go into that video, it's added to your video library. You can edit right there inside the StreamYard editor, and you can trim it out and you can create these little shorts from your live streams. Or you can use the StreamYard Studio to create pre-recorded videos. You could share your screen, do tutorials, whatever. So StreamYard is a perfect tool to help you do all of these things without you having to add a bunch of other stuff. So some people are like, oh, Mel, it's hard enough for me to do my lives. And I'm like, well, great. StreamYard makes it really easy for you to repurpose maybe snippets of that content so that you can put that content into these other marketing video strategies for sure. So boom, got you covered on that one, right? All right, Denise says, Indiana, go Colts. Colts, I love my Colts, but man, they are hard to love sometimes. I'm ready for a comeback season. Let's go. I'm not sure this year's it, but maybe next year, right? Okay, let's see here. All right, so the Rushmore Show, top 4 ranking podcast, fun, says we've been doing pre-recorded and shorts, doing live for the first time with StreamYard tonight. Woo! That's exciting. That's super exciting. Again, the live show is all about the relationships, building the relationships. That's very exciting. I'm super excited for that one for you, my friend, as well, or for sure. Okay, so take us, Game Set Match Kentucky, the podcast says, take us out of our comfort zone. I'm ready, okay? We're going to get there. We are definitely going to get there. All right, so let's keep going, right? We're going to keep going. If you're just now joining us, we are talking about 2024. I'm talking about 2024, things I want you to think about and consider doing in 2024 to do more in 2024. Had to take a sip. I have this like dry throat thing going on, and it's like the very end of a very long, weird sinus infection thing I had. And it's like the final stretch. I'm like, I can see the end of the tunnel, but is the last remaining annoyance of that silly 6-week sinus infection. Anyway, okay, enough of that, right? All right, so what else should we be doing in 2024 to do more, right? To do more. So I just talked about the videos. I really, really, really want to encourage you to get more creative. Okay, now some of you are very creative, okay? So maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't, but honestly, it kind of does. I want you to do something new. I just want you to do something new with your content, especially your live streams. So an example of this would be use the custom layouts in StreamYard. So we're no longer boxed into the 7 or 8, templated layouts that StreamYard provided us. When you share your screen, when you have a guest on screen, whatnot. Now you can absolutely customize these layouts. So I totally want you to use that feature if you're not already, because then you're going to change the look of your stream. Now, the reason why I want to encourage you to do something new, if you've been creating content for a while, and you're many of you have been, because clearly your metrics are showing the success. The reason why I want to encourage you to think about something new in 2024 is because I want you to still stand out even amongst your own people. Now, what I mean by this is I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to, I'm always very sensitive about certain things because I don't want you to get the wrong impression. Here's the deal. I don't want your audience, I don't want them to get bored. Okay, they're not going to get bored. They're okay. They love you, but they might get bored. Okay, they might get bored. So again, so seriously, what I'm saying is I want you to do at least one thing, change it up, right? Change it up, add some more creativity, whether it be maybe your intro video or music that you're adding to your stream or more overlays, change your overlays up or bring on guests, like custom layouts. I need you to get a little more creative. That's all I'm saying. So I think that StreamYard 100% has totally over delivered on giving you all the opportunities to be creative. I mean, you can share your screen, you can do video backgrounds now, you can have music right inside your stream easily because it's right inside the studio. You can do custom layouts. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so many. You can add videos, you can add transitions. There's so much, and there's more coming. And so I feel like not being creative or not trying some of these features, what's holding you back, right? What's holding you back? And so I definitely want you to just get creative in 2024. I want you to just open up Canva and design new things, create new things, add new colors. Add lights to your scene. Add lights like I've got. Add lava lamps. Do whatever. Just get more creative. And honestly, the other thing I'll say is getting more creative may not even have anything to do with the look of your live stream. It may have everything to do with you and how you are showing up. It could be what you're wearing in your videos. It could be how you're acting and how you're behaving in your videos. I just am saying I want you to get more creative because I think that a lot of people, everybody's used to content now and you got to stand out. And so I want you to get more creative, even if you don't feel like you're a creative person, because that's the excuse I always get. Oh, I'm just not that creative, Mel. I'm not that style, whatever. That's totally fine. You can still get creative. And so I just want to encourage you to find a way to try something new that is going to add a creative element to your content. 100%. You all heard me do this earlier, right? That little snap sound, that's an example. Add clips. Just try new things. I accidentally gave into another tip, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold that one for later. Anyways. So, okay, get more creative. Okay, got to give a couple quick shout outs to some friends. Toya's in the house. What's up, Toya? And then I saw Andrew Canis here. What's up, Andrew? I haven't seen you in 1,000 years. I miss you, my friend. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. So okay, here we go. Let me jump down because I saw some cool comments. Let's see. Yes, Creator Classroom. We don't want our channels to become stagnant. Jeremy V, change is good. It is good. Now, if you're just starting, sometimes you're in the mode of, okay, I got to get my flow. That's fine, but always be looking for ways to be creative, right? But I just need you to always be making sure that you don't get stuck in too much of the same thing, right? And hey, we all need to remember this, all of us, even myself and others have been doing this a while. So Creative Lady says, I agree. I started inviting guests and adding intros and outros. Fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. So guests is a great way to add creativity to your show for sure. 100%. That's a great tip. If you've not been doing guests, bring guests, right? Okay, let's see. Rushmore Show says same thing. We've been consistently trying to change it up. Change it up, right? Change it up. Sometimes it's good to reinvent yourself, right? Jeremy V, 100% agree. Definitely for sure. Okay, Marianne says, StreamYard hit it out of the park with so many great new features. Love the custom layouts. I mean, seriously, I will tell you guys, StreamYard just continues to make it easier and easier for us to create amazing productions with, like I always say, the click of a mouse, right? All you need is a mouse, it seems like half the time, and you can create amazing stuff. So definitely one of those things. Okay, so Helmar says, in our Mindcraft podcast, we extensively use custom layouts. There you go. So the custom layouts, I think, is still, in my opinion, it is still a very underutilized, fairly new feature. And it's been around. I mean, StreamYard added custom layouts. Was it this summer or earlier than that? Again, you guys remember what I said in the beginning of the show, time for me, I struggle with it. I struggle with the advancement of time. But anyway, I absolutely think it's still one of the most underutilized features. I watch people who use StreamYard, and I'm talking like big channels, and they're still using the standard layouts for certain things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if they would just like create a layout where this is moved up here and this, it would be like 1,000 times better, but they're just using the original standard layout. And I'm like, even these people that are like, probably have people producing these things for them aren't using the custom layout. So again, it's underutilized, use it. And so you can stand out. I love what Andrew Can says here. Changing things up can be unexpected, yet in line, take on your own channel. Yet in line, take on your channel. I don't know what, take off your channel. I don't know what you, it's okay. Sometimes I don't interpret things correctly, but need to catch up. Yes, we do, Andrew, we do. Okay. All right. I love this. This is good. This is a good tip too. You can always just do one thing. So getting creative might just mean one change. Like I said, it could just be adding lights. It could be doing video backgrounds. It could be creating one new custom layout and using it all the time. She's absolutely right. So it doesn't have to be, overwhelming or all this crazy stuff. But I think you will also find that when you start to get creative is like that whole action creates action. So the creative juices start flowing. And when you start getting into it, all of a sudden it's like you're in the flow and you get more and more creative. And I think it was Andrew Kavanaugh earlier said, I create every day. And I do think that I think that we as humans are built to create. I think we're built to create things, and that can look so many different ways. But I definitely think that it's, we're built to create things. So I think being creative is a big part of it. Okay. All right. Oh, thanks for the time check, Rudy. Okay. Let's see. I'm actually, there he is. Yes. I love creating. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next tip. So if you're just joining us, we are talking about things that you need to do or think about as you are transitioning into the next year. Going into the next year is a great opportunity to be kind of reevaluating, reassessing, trying to it just is. I don't know. It's a good time to kind of like look back and then look ahead and make changes and have goals and reach those goals. That's kind of what we're trying to talk about here. So we want to do more in 2024. Onto the third strategy. And this is, I want you to create deeper relationships online. Now, I don't mean through live streaming. Live streaming absolutely creates relationships. What I'm actually talking about is find your people. So I think that a lot of you know each other by showing, like, for example, Andrew Kavanaugh, I think a lot of people, that name, because he's very active in our Facebook community. And then others of you are very active in these live streams. The Creator Classroom, perfect example. She's always here. I mean, always hanging out, and she's a Canvas specialist. So the Joanne Banco. So with Joanne Banco, sorry, it's eluding me right now. It's okay. There's a beginning part to her handle. But anyway, always here, hanging out, right? So the Creator Classroom, perfect example. She specializes in Canva. That's one of the things she specializes in. If you're trying to learn Canva, go follow her channel. But hey, wouldn't it be kind of cool if you needed somebody to maybe teach Canva to your audience, or you wanted to kind of invite her into your own community? Do it. But I'm also encouraging you to take it even further. Create relationships. So I've got people who are either in the online world of business, or I've got people like Andrew and Daniel Batal and Nick and Dee Niman and others, Lorraine Petrucci, Kirk Nugent. There's so many of them who all kind of do this live stream thing, and we all kind of know each other. And I know 100% any of those names that I just shouted, among many, many more, I could totally reach out to them. And if I needed something, they'd be there for me. They'd absolutely be there. If I said, hey, send me a 30-second clip of your best tip for 2024, boom, they would do it. They'd send it to me and I'd have what I need. Build these friendships, build these relationships. So again, this is not just the relationships with your audience. This is the relationships with your actual peers, right? So create business friendships. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And so how can you do this? Well, quite frankly, if you don't even know where to get started, I would suggest you to go over to our Facebook community, or the StreamYard Facebook community on StreamYard. There are so many people in there. Many of you are in there. There are all kinds of people that do what you do. And it's 100% like a way for you to start to develop relationships. Now, I will say some people are open to these types of relationships and some people aren't. So don't take offense to it. It's just simply that some people maybe already have their kind of people, and it's just, you know how it is. You have a certain amount of like personal capacity, right? And so, but keep looking for people and you will find it's almost like when you go to any social event, you're going to just naturally gravitate towards certain people and you're going to feel it. Right? You're going to feel that connection. And when you feel that connection and you kind of know that that's a possibility, then take it to the next level and develop that friendship. Use communication tools like Messenger or even Voxer. I love using Voxer to keep up with many of my business friends. If you don't want to like go all the way to texting and calling and whatever. But I also say create like a once a month coffee chat or something where you can essentially like just keep in touch with it. Hold each other accountable. Keep encouraging each other. There it is. Let's go sew with Joanne Banco. Gosh, I'm so sorry I butchered it, my dear. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. So my point is that yes, find your tribe. Exactly. Again, this is not your audience that I'm talking about. This is actually peers and people who are going to help you continue on this journey. They're going to encourage you when you're down. They're going to help you. So they might be a collaborator with you, or they might just simply be somebody who's in the same space as you with the same goals, completely different worlds, but you're able to support each other. I find that whenever you listen to, successful entrepreneurial stories, I feel like there's always three things that always come up. Well, there's always a lot. There's probably four, but I'm going to cover three. One is they always say consistency is very important, whether it's consistently showing up with your email, consistently showing up with your content, consistently creating a routine in your business. Consistency is extremely important. The other thing they say is mentorship. Find mentors. They say you got to have a mentor. You got to have mentors that can encourage you, so whether it be joining a mastermind or whatever. The third thing they say is you got to have people who you are in it with you and are holding you accountable that you can reach out to when you're struggling or when you have a win. Because quite frankly, some of our wins, when we have a win and we go tell our spouse, they have no clue what we're even talking about. And that can be a little deflating. But if you reach out to somebody who's doing what you're doing, they totally get how important that is or why that's such a big deal that some, big celebrity, responded to a comment of yours. It feels amazing. It feels like you're seen, right? It's a thing. You got to have this because these are the people that are going to keep you going. And so I feel like every time that there's these stories, those are three of the things that are always consistent in their encouragement. And then the fourth thing I was going to say is they always say, don't give up. They always say, just don't give up. The successful people are the ones who don't give up. And it's like the 2% factor, right? So how do you keep from giving up? You find people who can help you. So deepen these relationships. Find these people and deepen them and make a commitment in 2024 that you're going to find your business besties or whatever you want to call them, your tribe, and that's what you need to do. It's really, really important that you do that. And so again, I would encourage you to use our Facebook community over on Facebook or other communities. There's Discord. There's so many places where you can find these people. 100% a thing. It's definitely what I want you to be thinking about in 2024. That's funny. Legal-minded friends, Karen Cole says, my daughter is a creator for Lush and I beg her for help. She understands it. And that's the thing. Sometimes our family gets it, but sometimes they don't. They don't get the world we're in. So it's one of those things that you definitely want to do. So yes, we have a Facebook community as well. So it's a Facebook group. So all you need to do is go over to Facebook and just search StreamYard Community. It'll show up. It's a Facebook group. It is a private group, but it is open to everyone. So you just need to answer a few questions. And then once the admin gets to it, they will add you to the group and you can ask questions in there. You can encourage each other. You can get inspiration in there. There's a lot of great stuff in there and you can find your people in there too. So definitely one of those things I want to encourage you to do. Okay. So let's keep moving. Cause I've got a couple more things that I want to talk about. I have three more things. So the next one is, I want you to grow your email list and I want you to use it. I've talked about email marketing on this show before when I talked about things outside of live streaming that you need to make sure that you're doing or focusing on, or, not forgetting about. An email list is definitely one of those things. I think especially in the world of YouTube and creating content and streaming and all the things, it's very easy to feel like you are successful, but yet what do you have to show for it? What I mean by that is if you're just like, I have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, that's amazing. That's super successful. Or 150,000 subscribers on Instagram. That's great. But if you don't have an email list, you're missing out. I'll put it that way. You are missing out on a massive way to curate and control more of the conversation. And more of that conversation is driving traffic to your content, selling things, so making more money, quite frankly, and deepening the relationship with your audience. There are also a lot of people who rather get emails from you than watch your content. It's true. It's a thing. I know it sounds crazy. It's a thing. Email marketing, it's not going away. It is still here to stay. It is absolutely a proven strategy for you to make more money and do more. So that's the thing. It's not that you can't be successful just being online, but you also have to remember if you're just relying on your social platforms, then you're living on borrowed land. Like YouTube today could turn off shorts. YouTube tomorrow could say, nope, no more live streaming on our channel. How would that affect your content? Probably pretty massively, right? Email marketing, you are in control of that. You are in control. The only thing you're not in control is whether or not your email goes to somebody's spam folder or whether or not they open your email. You have some influence to it, but you can't fully control it. But you're curating it. They're in your email inbox. They're not distracted by all the other things. There's so much value to email marketing. So growing your list and then using your list is something I want you to think about and focus on for 2024. So if you don't have an email list yet, then I want you to start one. If you have an email list and you're not fully utilizing it, then let's talk about that. Now, I will tell you that I'm going to be having my dear friend, Amy Porterfield, on the show here on this channel in 2024. And she is going to basically do an amazing masterclass for you all, where we're going to talk about everything I just said. So if email marketing to you is a little foreign, or if you're just like, what? How do I even get started? Blah, blah, blah. We're going to break it down for you. And we're going to talk about email marketing. So it's definitely something that I'm passionate about. It's something she's extremely passionate about. And she's been extremely successful. And I'm talking like multiple six figures a year, people. Multiple six figures a year. And email marketing is absolutely the strategy she 100% believes in. So we're going to be talking about that on the show. So those of you that follow Amy already, get excited because she's coming on the show. So I just got to get it scheduled. So it's happening probably in February. That's going to be my guess. I'm going to guess it's going to happen in February. So that's probably what we're going to do. So, all right. So Dream Talking with Vicky says, yes, getting my email list supercharged in 2024. Absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Very excited about that. Okay. So I definitely think that, okay, very good. She Fires says, I hear email list is important. I am drafting a downloadable free ebook to help my email list grow. Boom. There you go. Content upgrades. That's exactly how you get subscribers. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. Let's see. Correct. Global Wildfire Equipment says, so don't put all our eggs in one basket, just like Grandma taught us. Totally true. 100% true. iCast Enterprises says, I like the sound of multiple six figures a year. Yeah, sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? So yes, Amy Porterfield, she's going to be coming on the show next year to talk about email marketing. So we're going to have you covered there for sure. All right, let's keep going. I got two more things I want to talk to you about when it comes to growing in 2024. And then I'll answer some questions. If you have some questions, I think I saw one question that popped up in the queue. Let me look and see. Yes, Diane Burgess had a question, and it's very specific to StreamYard. I will answer that question for sure. So if you have questions, help me out. Get them in there, put a Q in front of it so I can see it, and I will answer some questions at the end. Then I'm going to be done because it's getting hot in here, and it doesn't usually get hot. Oh, it's because I have all the doors closed because Doug's home too, and he's on conference calls, and I closed all the doors because I'm loud today. I've been very energetic today. So it's getting hot in my little office studio place thing that's still out of whack and needs updated in 2024. So it's a big goal for me in 2024 for sure. Okay. Yes. 2 more things. Let's do it. Okay. Moving forward. Oh, got to go to the right spot. Oh, I got out of my folder. All right. Here we go. The other 2 things I want to talk about. So this one is very strategy focused. Consider multi-streaming. So I want you to consider multi-streaming, but with caution. Okay. So multi-streaming, super fun. We are multi-streaming today. We are streaming to Facebook. We're streaming to our Facebook group that I mentioned earlier. We're also streaming to LinkedIn. We are on YouTube, of course. And today I went ahead and clicked on that Twitter button. Excuse me, X. I clicked. Do we still call it Twitter? Or is it just X? Or is it Twitter? Is it X formerly Twitter? Or just, I don't know. That, Twitter is now X, whatever. There. We're streaming over there today too, because I don't know if you all noticed or saw the announcement that X opened up their API, which allows for the data from Twitter to transmit back to other third-party applications. And that means comments from Twitter can now come into the StreamYard studio. So you can now see these comments in your studio and display them if you want, just like we do with the other platforms as well. So I went ahead and clicked on that X button, which normally in the past I don't. And this goes with this part of my suggestion with caution. I personally did not like to multi-stream this show to Twitter because I wasn't monitoring Twitter. And I didn't have anyone at StreamYard monitoring Twitter for me. So here I could be talking and streaming live and people could have been commenting, and I'm not there to take care of them. I'm not there to respond to their questions. I'm not there to answer their comment because I can't see their comments because I'm not monitoring that platform. But now I can. So if somebody is watching on Twitter, which I don't think we have a lot of live viewers on Twitter, maybe we do. If so, comment so I can see that you're here watching. Just put comment. Doesn't have to be anything special. But my point is that now I feel comfortable because I know that I won't miss something, whether it be something bad or whether it be just taking care of them. Because I like to, when people are engaging in your live streams, you should be engaging back as much as possible. Now, the more comments you get, it can get a little harder, but I never like the concept of ignoring people, right? I don't want to ignore people. And so this is kind of goes back to multi-streaming. If you can handle multi-streaming, meaning if you feel like you can handle the various audiences, then I want you to consider multi-streaming because it's a great way to save time for yourself. So again, we're live streaming on all these different platforms. The other option would be to either not be publishing content on the other platforms or to do multiple live streams, meaning like do it and then do it again. That sounds terrible. That just sounds exhausting. Does that like literally makes me want to go take a nap thinking about it. Like it does. So with multi-streaming, you're able to select. Now you have to be on one of our paid plans. So the StreamYard free plan will not allow you to multi-stream, but any of the paid plans will allow you to multi-stream. And if you want the higher plans allow you more locations, custom locations, etc. So as long as you feel comfortable that you can handle the different audiences all together, that's key. The other thing that's important to consider when multi-streaming is that make sure people know you're multi-streaming. So this display comments feature. So Victor here, who's still hanging with us, glad to see that you're still watching live. See how it shows that he's watching on LinkedIn? Well, that allows the creative lady who's over on YouTube. She knows. She's like, Victor, who's Victor? I don't see him in the current comments because she's on her phone or wherever. All she sees watching on YouTube are people commenting from YouTube. There we go. There we are. There it is. Fitz is watching from Twitter, the X, right? Perfect. Wonderful. Super excited. I think that's the very first comment I saw come over from X. So again, thank you, Fitz, for doing that. Super appreciate you here watching over on X. Super fun. Okay. So again, you have to make sure. So Fitz, for example, isn't seeing any of your comments because probably he's just seeing his own. Maybe nobody's even really commenting over there. In fact, they aren't because I'm not seeing the comments. But you have to make sure that they understand that. This is why I love the display comment feature inside StreamYard is that you can absolutely display the comment. So for example, tell us about that. So we don't see the comments from X. You will now. Now you will. So just like we just saw Fitz's comment, I now see Fitz's comment coming from X into the feed, right? And it is because of the API. They just opened up the API. StreamYard grabbed a hold of that change. Now those comments can come into the StreamYard studio. All this is data, everybody. This is all data. Your picture, your name, your comment is data. And before we were able to push the stream to Twitter, but we could not receive anything back from Twitter. So we couldn't see comments or receive them into the studio. You would have to literally be on your phone or something on Twitter and like seeing, oh, Fitz just commented, cool. So you'd be like, oh, Fitz over on Twitter says, but that was like hard for me. So again, I didn't click on the X button because I didn't want to do that. I knew I wouldn't be successful. I would forget to look at it. So I didn't do it. So again, this goes back to multi-streaming, but with caution. Okay. So there we go. We got another one. Gail is in the house watching on Twitter and found the show because you were on X live. Fantastic. See? Twitter. It's another place for y'all to think about now. Okay. So you won't see it, meaning like you watching on YouTube don't see Twitter comments unless I display them. But again, let me go back to this. It's important that you understand that aspect. So you got to understand how it all flows. So multi-streaming can be very, very successful. It can be very wonderful. But at the same time, you have to just kind of, don't just jump into multi-streaming is kind of what I'm getting at, right? Think about the flow. Think about your audience. Also, here's the other major thing I want you to think about, and then I'm going to move on. Is your Instagram audience the same kind of audience as YouTube? So I will tell you this. Personally, for me, my Instagram audience is probably way more personal. I think it's way more personal. In fact, it is a lot more personal, and it also is like more of my peers, my business peers. It's not necessarily people who want to learn how to live stream. So going live on my YouTube and then also, multi-streaming to Instagram, which you can now do because you can now stream to Instagram, may not make the right sense for me right now because my Instagram audience is going to be like, what the hell is she talking about? Why is she talking about this? So again, think about your channels. Just because the capability is there doesn't mean you should do it. I do want you to consider it though. I do. Now, if your Instagram is super personal and you're like, well, my Instagram's all my friends and family, and you want to keep it that way, create another Instagram. Turn it into a creator profile and start creating content that's geared towards what you do. And that's what you should do. So again, multi-streaming is something I want you to think about in 2024, but with caution. Now, I will tell you this. Now that we can stream to Instagram, I'm already starting to see more live streams in my Instagram. I mean, like every day I'm like, oh, so-and-so's going live. I have never seen them go live before. And then I click and I'm like, oh, yep, they're using a third-party application. So Instagram just opened up their API so that third-party platforms can now push streams to Instagram. And you definitely want to be careful because it's a different format than what you normally see in regards to this horizontal format. So it's hilarious. By the way, we're going to get a bonus tip today. You're getting a bonus tip. Asking for engagement will foster engagement. Also, the people seeing the comments and then me displaying their comments, it's creating more comments. I haven't seen any Twitter comments all day, all stream, and now they're coming in. They're coming in hot and heavy, right? So Dan Riz says, the audience on Rumble for us is way more poppin', especially in the chat. Hoping it comes to StreamYard soon. Yeah, I know it's definitely been requested by a lot of people. I don't know where it is in the roadmap. I don't know what the limitations are and all that stuff. I think it could be an API limitation, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, definitely one of those things. But check it out. So, and then let's see, I saw the creative lady. She's like, just joined over on the X Twitter feed. So again, engagement fosters engagement. And when you basically reward people by displaying comments and acknowledging people and shouting them out, it fosters even more engagement. So now all the Twitter people are like, hey, she's giving us some attention. Fantastic. Well, I'm excited that you're all here. So again, now that we can bring those comments into the studio, I will be making sure that we are streaming to Twitter/X/Twitter for this show as well. So, all right, here we go. Here's what we're doing. We're going to move on to my last tip. And it's kind of like an all-encompassing tip for the today's, the premise of today's show. And if you're just now joining us, today we talked about doing more in 2024. And I wanted to kind of give you some encouragement, share some tips and some strategies that would help you do more in 2024. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching on X, over on Twitter, definitely I want you to invite you over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we have all kinds of video content that gets uploaded all the time. There's other live shows that we're always doing as well. And I want to invite you over to that YouTube channel to subscribe, because there's a ton of great content there. And then I also want to invite you over into our Facebook community where there's other people just like you learning to grow, to market themselves, using live stream, creating video, creating podcasts, all those things. And I wanted to make sure that I kind of did that before we kind of got to the last tip today. But the last thing I wanted to share with you, and I wanted to kind of leave you with this, is probably the big one. It's not a gut punch. It's not a gut punch, but it's not even a tough love from Mel moment, which we do those sometimes around here. We do those. It's definitely just it is what it is. I think you have got to challenge yourself even more in 2024. I want you to stretch your limits. Now, some of the things that I talked about today in today's show might fall into that category, right? You're like, multi-streaming? What? You want me to do what? That sounds so scary. Sure. I'm sure it does. Do it. Right? So do it. So again, nothing is easy. Nothing is comfortable. When we are stretching our limits, it doesn't always feel comfortable. And I think that I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing a trend online where people are comfortable. And I do think that it has to do with the cycle of the evolution of digital content. I think that the pandemic happened and a lot of people were forced to get comfortable with virtual, interaction. And a lot of people were like, well, I've got time on my hands now, so I'm going to do this creative thing that I wanted to do or whatever. And we've done it and it's going great, but it's like, okay, it's time to raise the bar. And so I want you to raise the bar for yourself in 2024. And that could be some of the things I talked about, or it could be finally launching that podcast you've been talking about, or that thinking about, or feeling, or whatever. And so I absolutely want you to make it a goal and a commitment, but more than a goal, a commitment, because a goal is really just an idea. It is. But a commitment is you getting to that goal. A commitment is you taking the steps. A commitment is you basically saying, I'm going to do this, and doing it. It's action. It's tangible because it's action. So I want you to make the commitment to challenge yourself and stretch yourself in the next year. So do the things that scare the crap out of you. I just about said a bad word on the StreamYard channel. This is not my own channel. Mel, glad I didn't do that. I would have gotten in trouble. Okay. Stretch yourself, challenge yourself, do it scared, right? Always remember, it's never going to feel super comfortable. Stretching yourself never feels super comfortable, right? So whether you are new and getting into this, or whether you've been doing it for a while, okay, are you going for it? Are you going all in? Or are you kind of just staying comfortable, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. That is a saying for a reason. And it matters with everything we do. If you are somebody who's been doing it and you kind of fell off the wagon a little bit, get back on it. Let's go. Try something different in 2024. You will absolutely feel good. And so, I will leave you kind of with my favorite motto that I like to tell people is that action creates courage, right? You're not courageous first. You're usually scared. And so if you're waiting for the courage to take action or to do these things and to stretch yourself, it ain't going to happen. You got to start taking action. And so some of these things that I talked to you about and tips that I talked to you about are what I want you to think about. I want you to think about those things as like steps towards this stretching your limits. But I want you to really start to think big for 2024. What is something big that you can go do? So I would love for you to leave that in the comments, whether you are watching live or watching the replay, or as soon as the live is over and you think about it, come back and do it. So here's a great example. So the Creator Classroom says a membership. She wants to create a membership. So a membership is basically where people have to pay to be in there, and they're getting extra juicy content from her so that they can do more things. It is not easy. It is absolutely a very smart strategy, by the way, and I 100% support it for you, especially for what you do. But it is going to be challenging, right? And she says, I'm so scared. Well, you're going to have to do it scared, right? She says, I'm always scared, but I make steps anyways. Fantastic. I would highly recommend, you probably already are, follow Stu McLaren. He's fantastic when it comes to memberships. Okay, I see some questions coming in. Love it. I am starring those right now. Got yours, Joanne. Got yours, Maggie, as well. So action creates courage. So that's my repeat for you. Action creates courage. And it's absolutely like one of my number one, like foundational kind of things. I have two. I have three. Action creates courage. So stop waiting for your fears to go away, because courage isn't going to show up on its own. It's 100% going to only come because when you take action, you're like, ooh, I feel confident. Confident comes from those actions you take. So always remember that. You may not be able to take the big action that you're thinking about, but take some actions and it will work you up towards it. So that's what that's about. The other thing is, let go of perfectionism. Some of you are holding yourselves back because you are like, oh, I'm not good enough yet, or I'm not there yet, or whatever. It's because you're hiding behind this perfectionism. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be amazing. It doesn't have to look like that person who's been doing it for 10 years. Do it your way. Do it scrappy. Scrappy doesn't have to be crappy. Scrappy does not always mean crappy. That's my second one. And then my third one is, if you don't keep going for it and keep doing these things, then all your gifts go ungiven. So don't let your gifts go ungiven. That is my saying. It does not really grammatically make sense to a lot of people, but it 100% makes sense. Don't let your gifts go ungiven. So take the actions, do the things. I saw some questions come in. Creator Classroom. Yes, it was Stu McLaren. That's who I want you to go check out. Stu McLaren is fantastic when it comes to memberships. He's like the person for memberships. Amy Porterfield's the girl for digital courses, and Stu is the person for memberships, 100%. Okay, this is great. Dream Talking with Vicky says, publishing a new book. That's a great example. That's a wonderful example for stretching yourself. Absolutely love it. That's a big goal and that's a big deal. And I'm here to encourage you all along the way, sister. So keep us posted. Make sure you keep coming back and keep us posted, because I love it when you guys tell me you're going to do something, then you keep coming back and tell me you did it. Okay, I'm going to I saw 3 questions. 3 questions came in that I saw that I want to make sure that I get to really quick. So this one's really old. So I don't know if Diane is still here. She says, I'm a small business and don't have a large budget. Can I use StreamYard for free or a small fee to accomplish goals? Heck yes. The StreamYard free plan, everybody, is amazing. The only thing that the StreamYard free plan, you cannot multi-stream. You cannot do custom branding, meaning like overlays and videos. And you're going to have this in all of your streams. That's it. That's not a big deal. If you're on a tight budget and you need to use the free plan, use it. Absolutely use it. The other limitation is you're only going to stream at 720, which is only a standard definition video signal. On the other plans, on the professional plan, you're going to get a 1080p signal. I think that could change in the future, meaning I think all those levels will go up. But for right now, that's the other limitation that you want to think about. But you can absolutely still be successful. You can definitely still be successful. I highly encourage you to just get going with it. That's the whole point, right? So I do think that the free plan is very generous. You can do lots of awesome things with it. Let me get this banner off here real quick. La, 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 la. Okay, Joanne said, asked about recommendations for doing a live remote show in a classroom where I can switch from me to the classroom participants. Do I need a camera that follows? Ooh, your thoughts. Okay, so here you have a couple options here. So in StreamYard's professional plan, you can add an additional camera. That additional camera is going to let you kind of talk, kind of like this, but I'm doing it a little differently. I'm using OBS virtual camera. I could totally do the same thing inside StreamYard. I can absolutely connect this bonus camera to StreamYard. What you're trying to do, the thing that could limit you, Joanne, is that the bonus camera inside of StreamYard is not going to come with audio, with a mic. So that bonus camera is meant to be almost like think if you're doing one of your creative, like you're sewing, and you've got a camera on you, but then you've got a camera down on your hands, like on your sewing, whether it's cross stitching or sewing machine or whatever, or your scissors cutting the fabric, so that people can still see your face, but they can also see what you're doing. That's very much the intention, but you can also use it as a switcher, like what you're talking about. But when you go to the other camera, it's still going to be, your mic still has to be the only thing picking up. As far as the camera that follows, what she's talking about is there are these cameras like the OBS bot, the Insta360, and the new one that's really cool, the DJI, I forget what it's called. It's freaking fantastic. It's super cool. My friend India Delgado, her channel, she's like totally creating all this content about that DJI camera. It is by far, in my opinion, I think the best one out of all of them. Anyway, so they follow you, right? They use a gimbal. I don't have it hooked up, or else I'd show you. I have one, but they follow you around. So it uses AI to track your face, and so it knows where you are. These cameras are really fantastic if you're doing something that's an activity and you're moving around the room. Now, so Joanne, if you were wanting to have the camera on you and then you wanted to walk over to the audience and have it follow you over in the classroom, then you would probably want a camera like that. There are limitations to it. The thing I will recommend is that you also invest in a wireless microphone system like the Rode Wireless Go microphones. Because as you're moving around, the further you move away from the microphone, the audio is not going to track with you. And audio is arguably more important than video when it comes to streaming. So when you are going to use one of those mobile cameras like that, you are going to want to get a lav mic if you don't already have one. Maybe you already have one. I feel like maybe you do. So anyway, so yes, you can definitely do it when that comes to that. Maggie, the substitute teacher, she had a question. When I live stream to Instagram, will I see it on my own feed? I tried to set it up, but I didn't see me as live. For now, I just pull it from archive and post it. It should. Like, it should show up for other people. Do you mean on your profile? Honestly, Maggie, I don't really know. I don't use Instagram Live a lot, to be honest with you. But I think what you're asking is, like, if you open up Instagram and you go to your profile while you're live, will it show up there? It's going to show people that you're live on your profile, like this circle image of your profile photo. That's going to basically be like, she's live right now. Kind of like on same thing everywhere else. It lets people know this person's live right now. That's how it shows up. I don't think it shows up on your profile per se. Now, there are settings that you have inside Instagram. It can absolutely show up or automatically be posted, I think. So, but I do think it's finicky over there with Instagram. And I'm not super familiar with all those settings because, again, I don't use Instagram Live really. So again, all honesty, I'm not going to try to answer a question I can't answer. So, but I guarantee if you go to our Facebook community and ask this exact same question, there are going to be tons of people in there that can help you and answer that question for you, for sure. Okay, a lot of questions. I see some questions coming in about other things or more comments, helping people answer your questions. I love it. So there it is. Yes, the DJI Pocket 2. That is that other camera. It's so good. You guys, India Delgado. Go check out India Delgado. Tell her Mel sent you. She's got fantastic content with this particular the microphones and the camera. And DJI didn't send it to her. She bought it with her own money. So you're getting an unbiased opinion over there. So yeah, I think Pocket 3. I don't know. It's the DJI Pocket whatever, but it's awesome. The thing's awesome. So go check it out. Okay, so Instagram there's some comments and some thoughts about Instagram in here. That's it. Osmo Pocket. That's it. DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Thank you, Chatty Kathy. Love it. Okay. Okay, so Juan is watching over from the X platform as well. So we got a shout out to our X viewers, of course. So here's what I again, I want to end with this because the show today we talked about doing more in 2024. And I definitely I still don't want you to feel like you have to be doing all the things. So the whole point of today's show was to give you, hopefully you found at least one thing through the list of things I talked about that you weren't thinking about or that you need encouragement or you need pushing on and that you're going to go do that. But I don't want you to miss my message that you need to be doing all these things, right? This is still a very difficult thing to do. It is not for the faint of heart, and it is absolutely requires work and time and dedication. There are ways that you can maximize your efforts and maximize your time, and I want you to do that. And our channel on YouTube has so many great tips and strategies about all those things. But I just more want you to be focused in 2024 on growth, whether it be learning new skills, adding new things to your streams by the custom, whether it's the custom layouts or adding videos or just getting more creative or launching that podcast or finally going live. You haven't been going live before, or finally doing, YouTube shorts or Instagram reels, or finally pre-recording videos as well. Like finally email marketing and actually using it, et cetera, et cetera. I just want to encourage you to make sure that as you enter the year, that you do have a focus with intention. And so I want you to go into it with, hey, I'm going to do something different this year. I'm going to level it up at least a little bit. If you're not always leveling up somewhere somehow, then you're just flat. And flat is out, my friends. So stagnant is no more. Consistency is great. I'm not saying don't be consistent, but add a little something here and there every once in a while, right? Change it up. Don't be afraid to change things up. Don't be afraid to try new things. And that's really a big part of what I wanted to encourage you today. There's so many amazing features. There's so many amazing things happening with StreamYard that are going to help this process I'm talking about be easier, really. So if you haven't been using the tool for a while, or if you haven't even had a chance to dabble in it, then I want to encourage you to make it a priority to get back into it, get in there, play around with it, practice with it, because there really are so many things. And as I always say, all you really need is a mouse and you can create amazing live streams. So that's what I really wanted to encourage everybody today on. Mostly that was my big message that I wanted to kind of end the year with, right? And so we'll be back again in the new year. Well, actually, Dan and Gage will be back on Sunday, closing out the year with the town hall, it's called Ask StreamYard, but it's their town hall show that they do every single Sunday. So make sure you tune into that. It's a great show. It's at 9:00 Eastern time here on all the channels. So you can ask them questions. You can hear about new things coming. It's one of the best ways for you to learn about what's coming up. And it's also the best way for you to literally provide your suggestions to those two guys. So that'll be the last live stream of the year for here with StreamYard. But I want to wish you all a very happy and safe new year, and close it out strong and start it even stronger when it comes to 2024. So that's all I got for y'all today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. As I said, be safe, be happy, and go live. See you later.